Maybe here towards the backside. Valkyrie also been incredibly popular for most teams. I think maybe we'll see the Valkyrie coming out here from G2, or unless it's a real, like, throw down the back alley from them to ban out something more targeted. It's going to be the Kaid. So very different strategy in this game. Really close one to keep your eye on here is going to be Canadian playing on the Monty as well. And they haven't got the Headbanner on side, for example. And I commented on this a bit yesterday. When you have the, I mean, Pamba's managed to crouch up the backside of Benja there after he's just got Rice as well. They've got the smokes to play behind. The lesser numbers that the attackers have to come in for an execute, generally the happier the defenders will be. If you can keep the numbers even, great. You're taking away a bunch of utility that would otherwise be useful coming into the execute. So it can be a little bit frustrating, and Canadian here is just slowly going to have that life of his sapped away by Uno. However, Pamba stepped in and made it happen. The Monty's coming out the backside as well. Both down super low here. It's a 1v2. Alamau to do it all, but NJR closes out.
As the flash comes out, Attic is now being pushed. Rice is looking to move in. Benja has been forced back. Canadian with the Yings, likely to go in through Kid's window. Alamau does manage to find NJR. Pamba does find Uno as he tries to move up those rear stairs. And we just have kill for kill trades once again. 3 versus 2. Advantage DarkZero is wiped away by Virtue as he finds Canadian. 2 versus 2. 5 seconds left to go. Rice is planting. Can G2 do anything about it? Unlikely as Pamba picks up Virtue. And it's all up to Alamau now. He moves through. Nothing he can do. The angle is locked.
Towards the execute, and it is very heavily north side centered.
It is. I think the way that I feel about things at the minute is that G2 are just playing sort of a more reactionary game at the minute. You know, every opportunity they have seems to come as a reaction to something. It's not, you know, that DarkZero are sort of walking into their pre-laid plans, if you will. Doki's going to just hide himself underneath the stairs there. He manages to get himself two. Can he find a third? He's looking to push into bunker. All the kills going in G2's direction. Doki does get the last intel, I think, to tell him. I don't know whether they've maybe got an echo cam up there potentially that's just going to be feeding a little bit of info, so he can call them when they stood on top of it, and Doki will blow the nitro. But for the time being, the call has not come.
Yep, Rice being down there by the impact, and clearly Alamau knew, because he's got to then finish him off as well, off the back of the impact coming on in. Doki still with that C4 above as well, just waiting for someone to come running in above, and will be in a great spot to pop it out. Shot drone coming on down. Just blaze past him, but catched it just as it fades away around the corner. And now we can see these Yokai drones coming into effect.
There we go. Just going to signal out. Giveni drops down and does get Alamau with a nice headshot though, and now is in control of security. Could be dangerous for Doki, who's playing on white stairs. Benja needs to have the cover there so he can't push through. Beautiful from Doki. Finds one on white window. Benja, as I said, has the cover, but not for long enough. Just as he steps away from watching it, Giveni steps out and manages to get a late trade onto Doki. 3 versus 2, and that's a triple in the round for Giveni at the minute. He just keeps going, but Benja, he doesn't miss this time. Shuts down his man. 2v2.
And 2v1 as well, as Benja's all that's left standing. They just caught Virtue pulling back in towards sight. Now, Benja, rough spot to be in as well. No real visibility or insight into what's going on, but here's about the diffuser outside. Could have almost taken his man, but NGR, he was a bit wise too. It was watching the angle in case there was a run out coming through. It's a good read overall from Benja. Playing towards this long angle inside the kitchen now as we have the plant going down, but it's far off on the other side. It's about this win inside of security that's going to matter. Almost loses out. He's charging around. Wants the man going for the plant, but at this range, Benja, I don't think the shorty's going to help.
I think he's going to spot him. Nope, not going to have any clue whatsoever. Absolute freebie for Virtue as he moves around the corner. Nice and easy. He'll have heard Rice getting the drone, getting his phone essentially out of his pocket, just activating the drone, so he will know Virtue's going to get caught out now though as Pamba comes around the corner. Maybe should have moved himself a little bit quicker. Could have got it.
He helped that. He wanted the gun.
4 versus 4. And not a bad start from either side.
It was a good read from Virtue as well. He knew there'd be someone pushing him down off the back of that corner coming. Oh, he's in showers. He's in showers. Like, he can only be on the small tower side of the map, and he wants to try and get back towards site. White stairs would have been his target. So Pamba makes the right move to go after him, but probably really Virtue rode on him looking towards white stairs rather than the security door. And sure enough, Pamba wins out. It is the Pamba party after all.
Oh my! This is
and it's Canadian as well.
It's not great for DarkZero. They've had 2 caught out on drones now. They maybe just need to think about the positions they're leaving themselves in, when they're going to be leaving themselves vulnerable on that information utility. Giveni has no option but to just step back inside and take that goo mine out. NJR manages to push on into sight, but it's not looking good at the minute as Benja manages to find one. There's another, this time for Alamau. Second in the round, 4 versus 1 now. Pamba's no choice but to push up white stairs. And I tell you what, Pamba party's going to have to be a hell of a party. And what a headshot that is on onto Benjameister. Sit down.
No.
Finds himself a second. Cannot find the third as
That
Doki
keyword the Canadian used, patience, playing things slow, looking for a big execute at the very end. Good use of the Candelas here to get inside, but sat behind a Fenrir disc, can't really do too much about that. And this is Doki striking. He's come down from tower. He's already found one. Still trying to push their way inside the blue here as well, but it's simply not going to happen. Doki gets traded out by NJR. That is the end of that flank, but Uno's ready for the next drop to come in. Whiffs off onto NJR, but there are 4 left standing. This one should be done and dusted. It's a down, and of course it's Alamau. These two just keep on finding each other time and time again. Canadian, I think, a little bit stuck here, though, with so many still to go through.
Not going to move anybody around yet into a position that G2 can do anything about. 1 minute left to go. Half of the time that they had to absorb has been done by DarkZero. Pamba moves around, manages to get the kill onto Virtue on rear stage, and that's going to allow DarkZero to hold on to Pillar potentially. That is not good for G2.
I'm worried about the sync because Alamau was sat on drones the entire... He's only just come off drones just now, so he's seen been moving and making things happen, and he's been nowhere to be seen. This glass not being put to great use. Finally, makes his push forward and will find one. Blinded out here, Legion traps, everything slowing him down inside a freezer. At this point, he's a minor inconvenience, though. And I'm not really going to criticize him. I imagine he was calling for his team, making sure they had the info to execute. But he has largely been ineffective in this round because he's had to sit on drones. That glass, just not a part of this round.
No, not at all. We can hear he's taking damage from all over the place. Some of it from a Toxic Babe canister. And he's just trying to look to get anything going. But with 15 seconds left to go, 4 kills needing to be found, it's unlikely that anything can be done. Alamau doesn't have Diffuser in hand. He's bouncing back and forward. NJR manages to take him down with a shotgun blast, and that is going to be DarkZero.
6 nades, and I thought maybe they aired away from taking them because of the Wamar on the other side. Here, really looking towards Uno to be the one that burns through them with those flashes in back pocket. That's when the nades can really start flying, and you can see as all the juice gets pulled out by the Finker, for example, the march begins. Alamau into a second in the round. As it evens out at a 3 versus 3, Alamau finds another. He's got into him, and he's making it happen all by himself.
Certainly has. That leaves him on a triple. Doki might just find the man as he tries to come back in through trophy. Canadian does find the nitro onto Alamau. Dread to think what the sounds are going to be if DarkZero win this round. Doki moves on into site, tries to take the space that was occupied, manages to find one. That leaves us 2 versus 1. Uno has an opportunity to get the diffuser down as Canadian is a long way off site, doesn't have nitro in hand, so will be reliant on the UMP through the floor if he can find this plant going down, but Uno hasn't got in to do it yet. He will start now, however.
He's just gone for the concrete, as they should have done as well here, so it doesn't matter, even if Canadian can scan them, he's going to have to come up and take this gunfight. They have a loose idea as to where he is because they heard those shots coming from Zulu, and all they've got to do is have Doki wait around and catch them out. The C4 comes through, and Gaveni was really hoping to catch someone close to that wall, but they're just backed away. Steps up, challenges coming on through, so we can't play that hatch so easily anymore, as Alamau can very comfortably swing in and try and at least give him some challenge. That should open things up for G2 to start hitting him, but they've got no idea that Gaveni's still so close. A couple of kills come through. Doki and Benja, a couple more back the other way. It's neck and neck between these two, round after round, Tim.
Yeah, G2 somehow come away from that exchange on top. It's unfortunate for DarkZero, really, because they did a great job inside of Attic there. G2 really with no idea. They knew somebody was kind of there, but they didn't know exactly where Gaveni is after doing a lot of damage. Finally going to be downed. It leaves it all up to Pamba in a 1v2. We see the Candela, no, it was a track stinger, sorry, coming in. It's the Gridlock who's actually on site. Doki manages to pick it up.
Cut off those rotations to force attackers to have to, or defenders, sorry, to have to shoot them on their way through. Just gives all the indication and extra intel over towards the attacking side, making flanks that little bit harder, really, for the defenders. However, kills, they still come pretty easy. It's 2 in the form of frag grenades here, very quick. And here comes Alamau trying to break it open, but the support coming in from the mirror's magical. It's 3 kills back, Tim. It was 5v3. 2 seconds later, after you blinked, suddenly it's 3v2 for DZ.
Yeah, G2 in control of Highway, though, and starting to use that. Uno manages to find one onto Rice. 2 versus 2 now. They're going to have to think about getting into site. They do have a little bit of time to play with, but Uno, he's going to go in and try to get that diffuser down. Not really in any cover, and it allows DarkZero to swing around, pick up the kill, puts the kit down on the ground. Virtue does collect, but now he's in a 1 versus 2. Bulletproof Cam ahead of him as well, just feeding information back into the 2 players that are remaining. DarkZero, they can play this pretty cool at this point. Virtue, he's going to have to go for kills more than likely.
Rounds himself here towards wide on Highway, but swung by.
So we'll be looking for maybe a little bit of a freebie as an opportunity there, but no. The nade comes in. There's nothing Rice can do. He manages somehow with fancy footwork to keep himself out of danger, but it's not enough. Alamau manages to find him. G2 throwing everything and the kitchen sink at him to clear him out. 2
nades coming in, a hard breach fall on towards the kitchen side wall as well, where Alamau finally collects the kill. I said they had to deal with him. I didn't know they'd commit 3 players in towards trying to break that
2
hold.
nades, 3 players,
That's what I mean,
breach
yeah.
utility.
That's what I mean, yeah. I mean, they've really gone for it, but they've got what they need, and they can do a little bit working from below. If they want to make a plant happen here quite shallow at the top of white, for example, in behind bunks, they probably could get away with it, but they've got to move fast, and they've only got 30 seconds to play with.
That's it. Rice has done a great job, to be honest, burning so much of the round in there. It's taken a good while to get him clear, and it may just lead G2 into a bit of a Hail Mary here with 10 seconds left to go. They just have to sort of jump in and go for it and hope that the cover is there. There is a man playing hard left of the window. You can see NJR is going to be in an important position. Gets one. Can he find another? No. Gets shut down. That's going to give Uno the opportunity to plant here. 2 versus 2 as the kills come in. 1 versus 1. Uno most likely loses this and has to plant. The Canadian has to kill.
He absolutely does. We're getting a little bit of a scrappy ending there. Both teams leaving these executes really until the last 15, 10 seconds or so.
You know, let's not forget, we're in round 12 here. If DarkZero get this round, that's going to be huge for them. So limiting G2 to 4 drones could be a really big start for them.
Great nade almost catches out Rice here, taken low. Doki's round in the corner as well. Rice just not respecting where the nade came from. And Doki pushes him, takes him out. That's some good clear they've now got here, but Attic is still not really in their control. Gaveni continues being an absolute terror, bringing down Benja. Again, it's just back and forth and back and forth. Uno's in trying to make a plan happen, and by the looks of it, they've got completely unaware this is going on right now. They're not even sure where he's planting.
Yeah, G2 have just pulled off a real snatch and grab there, managed to get in, get the job done, and then start picking people up as DarkZero rotate around to try and find a retake. It was Virtue who got the first, but here comes Gaveni once again, manages to find himself a double 2 versus 2. He's backed up by Pamba. He's going to go for this. He might just get it. Is G2 close enough? Nade comes in. This is going to be close on the timing. The nade with fractions of a second to go over the bomb. Chassis can't find anyone. Canadian is not going to have an opportunity to pick his man up, I don't think, especially as Virtue is opening this wall. He's going for it, but it's going to leave him in a difficult position. Look at that timing. Virtue nearly with an opportunity. The diffuser was going to go down, but Uno, he's going to take a little bit of damage, which is going to drift him away from it. Canadian finds Benja. 5 versus 4, 20 seconds left to go. It's turning into a bloodbath there.
G2 thought they had it all lined up, but DarkZero find 2. Doki one back on the other side. Plant attempt or re-attempt coming in from Uno here as well. Doki holding back. Overwatch playing for his team. Uno manages to stick the plan. It's into a 2v2, Tim. Doki's on a 3k playing on Pillar. It's a quad kill, but Uno takes the very last. This is it. Look, he's posted outside construction. He's ready to come charge again. Nice C4 coming out over the top, but just sadly sailing the wrong way. It's not going to catch Canadian. You could just sprint past it quite easy. Flash is coming in to help secure the E-box wall being opened up, remove that spot that we often call Shaiko. Gaveni's looking to charge his way forwards here as well, but has got to make this happen. Flash comes on through, but they are ready, and Alamau has just poked his head over the parapet and found Rice. At this point, it feels like DZ have just slowed down to a crawl. They've got to find something. It's only Canadian left, and if he could do this against everyone, it'd be magic. But G2 are not letting it happen. They secure a spot in our phase 2, and it's going to be DZ against Fury.